right. Hello to whoever is going to watch this. My name is Roger Fenn. I was born in 1949, March the 2nd, in Brooklyn, New York. I lived in the Brooklyn, Queens area until I was in about the third grade when we moved to Ridgewood, New Jersey, and lived in Ridgewood, New Jersey until I was starting high school when we moved up to Winchester, Massachusetts, where I graduated high school. And after graduating high school, I attended St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer, Indiana. And that was interrupted by my getting drafted. And we'll talk about, I became a conscientious objector. And I'll talk more in depth about that later. That took up about 8 years of my life. I did, after graduating from St. Joseph's College, I moved to Dayton, Ohio, where I eventually attended the University of Dayton and obtained my master's in clinical counseling. So that's a little bit of a framework of
In what counseling?
Clinical counseling. I would like the focus of this time together, my sharing. I want to focus on what I believe has been, has contributed to my spiritual growth, development, evolution, which has its beginning in my birth, because I got stuck in my mother's birth canal, and I was pulled out with forceps, which probably resulted then in lesions on both sides of my brain, which resulted in both expressive and receptive language problems, which probably may have contributed to my spirituality more than any single event. My childhood was, in a sense, spent in a lot of silence because I didn't talk. And when I did begin talking, about 4 years of age, really people were not able to understand me, which began many, many years of interventions to help me learn to talk and to communicate so that people could understand me. So my early education experience was one of a lot of humiliation of teachers saying things like, I can't call on you, nobody can understand you. Um, I, in front of the whole class, I don't know what to do with you. Those kinds of things, um, which resulted in a lot of shame and a lot of negative kind of the formation of believing I was really damaged goods, not good for much. Um, I was taken to. I went to many places for speech therapy. I was thinking anywhere anybody thought they could help me. And where I remember receiving the most help was at St. John's University on Long Island, where a nun helped me learn to imitate her vocal cords. Um, and I eventually did begin to speak um, so that people could understand me. And when we made that move to Massachusetts was a really defining moment in my life in that, uh, you know, once we made that move, people there didn't remember the Roger who couldn't speak. So I, in a sense, was able to develop a very different identity. I was very athletic. I played 3 sports a year. I was pretty popular, and that was a very different experience from my early years. I still struggled in school. Uh, School was very difficult for me. I probably was a C student, barely. Um, and when it really, and football played a big role in my life because I was good and people liked that. People were attracted to a football player, and it enabled me to develop some positive um, feelings about myself. Um, I ended up after high school graduating and going to St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer, Indiana. Not many collegers was willing to accept me because of my grades, my SATs, they weren't that good. Uh, but other reasons that I decided to go to St. Joe's was I wanted to know whether I really wanted to be a Catholic. also I thought I could play football there. I loved playing football, but I never did play there. And primarily I got there earlier. I just found football players to be very prejudiced. Most of them were from Chicago. They were, uh, so I decided not to try out. I decided that wasn't really why I came to college. At St. Joe's, um, I started meditating. I actually started meditating my senior year in high school. I'd come across some books written by Thomas Merton that my mother had, and I became very, very interested in kind of monastic, mystical tradition of the Catholic Church. And I continued to pursue that interest at St. Joe's and deepened my practice of meditation. And I had what I consider to be, I haven't talked to many people about this, it's something I've kept to myself. But I had mystical experiences there in my meditation, which I don't think makes me special. I think many people have had these types of experience, but maybe even reject them or don't want to talk about them. And I think even more people would be able to have these experiences if they nurtured and cultivated the practice of silence and being in God's presence. It's available to everybody, and it doesn't make anybody special when they have a mystical experience, an experience of God within. But I had these, and they really deepened my faith and my commitment to living a life of what I'm going to call spiritual growth and evolution.